Hi, this is Mia. This is part 2. We'll say part 2, episode 2, Wait After Labor Day series. I don't know what the series is about, except that I couldn't find I have 2 white tank tops. I don't have any white pants. I have 2 white tank tops, and I can't find either of them, but I'm ended up wearing this. It was one of my mystery clothes, which I really actually like a lot. I think this is like the bonus. This is one of my most feminine looking outfits. My weight is at 180, which is really high for me as a raw food, mostly vegan, except for bee products. Oh my god, someone's using a blower. It is 8:21. I cannot stand blowers. I don't know what it is, but that's one of my... It like overwhelms my senses. So I had these dreams of dreams, and one was I got in a fight with this midwife in a bathroom. She was trying to deliver 2 babies, and in this hospital, like, I saw a picture of the Superdome with the people from New Orleans. It was like that. It was just super crowded, people laying all over the place, the stairs all everywhere crowded with people trying to use the bathrooms, and all this pregnant people, families. And so I said, oh yeah, I'm a naturopathic doctor and a midwife, and she told me how horrible it is. I was like, I'll have you know that the last several births that I went to were at a hospital, including some C-sections and this and this. And I had gone through this, and she was just like, you're careless. And I ended up getting a fight in my family. Whoever was with me came and got me later, or whoever. It was really weird, because it was like that Superdome picture. It was just like a bunch of stuff. Put all this in my phone. Actually ran out of space for the title of this. I can't remember the other part. Anyways, so I was at the beginning of this dream. I was in a car. It reminds me of The Incredibles, when Mr. Incredible has that little sedan or whatever, that tiny car. He's like this big guy. It was just like a basic car, no tinted windows, just comfortable, felt safe. And in the dream, I was riding, or I don't know who was driving. I feel like I was on the left, but I don't feel like I was driving. I was in the car with my mom, but my mom, she was this young, really sweet, kind, loving person. So I'm like, holy cow, when I wake up, like, in the dream, I'm like, this is comfortable. This is what you feel like you want to be with when you're with your mom, right? You want to know this person from birth until adulthood and feel safe and comfortable around them. And there's quirkiness and different things that can, in real life, that can be like, oh, that's annoying. But with my mom, she was super abusive in real life. So waking up to have a mother, like, it almost makes me feel like I'm getting hugged right now. Like I'm a hot dog, being surrounded by the coziest hot dog bun. Like, in the chilly weather, it's just like, oh, it's just like the ultimate Zen space, that the thought is dissipating so fast. Like I just turned the candle, or blew the candle out, and the warmth is gone, and the smoke is rising, and there's a small little flicker of light that just, and then it continues to just vaporize that smoke, and then it's done. It's done, right? It's done. Until next time. That's the thing about candles, right? There's a next time. Until you run out. I'm feeling really zen about candles, and thinking of the candle aisle in the Fred Meyer Burlingame store. Look that up, guys. There's neon lights out front. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna order my kids food. I don't even care. I'm gonna order my kids food from Fred Meyer. Only because of what I just said, guys. I had this like moment of deja vu, not deja vu, but extreme memory of me standing there looking at the candles and getting a couple that were on clearance. That's real life. So in this dream, there's the car, and there's like, it's like a dirt road or some kind of road out in the middle of nowhere, and there's a river or a creek, and one of the guys from Mark is with his kids, like some little boy, at least I could see, splashing around in the water. And it's like gray and overcast over. It's kind of dark. And it's weird because there's this gate that you're supposed to drive through. We don't see any other cars. And I go, wait, stop the car. And it was like, you know how you could see the heat rise off the road? But it was like there was these two pillars, like, it could be like a blow dryer. Didn't look like a blow dryer, but it was like this heat area. I'm like, oh my God. What is that? Is that going to cause the paint to come off? Is that going to cause the tires to melt? Is that going to cause the car to explode? And I was like, I'm not going to go through that. Can you drive around? And my mom was like, no. It's okay. And I was like, let me out. I'm going to take my baby and go out of the car and meet you inside of wherever the picnic, and so it was someone's work event. It was almost like my old work event from my old job at Landy's, which was on this dirt road. And my boyfriend, I don't know what happened. He got there late. In real life, this happened. But anyways, it's a whole different story. So I end up like getting in with my baby first, and in real life, I don't have a baby. So in my dream, I had this baby that didn't have dark skin and had super light eyes. But besides that, just the sweetest little round face. And I was like, somewhere in the dream, I was like, oh, we forgot her clothes. Like, and I'm thinking of the old, like, 80s diapers bag or whatever, those big white, not these stylish designer, expensive bags, but because you see, like, why does that guy carry that purse? That big purse. Oh, that's his kid's diaper bag. Those big white, like, quilt looking things with the sheep on it. I don't see people carry those plastic on the outside. Like, it was like one of those type. I was like, maybe I have a t-shirt and a pair of shorts to cover up whatever she's wearing, a diaper or whatever. And in the dream, and I'm in real life, I'm thinking, oh shoot, because I'm asleep, but I'm consciously thinking, I think, what if the shirt's too small? Because in real life, how many times you put clothes for your kids or something in the spare bag, or keep it in the back seat of the car in case there's a mess? But then you realize, oh my God, I put that there 3 years ago. It doesn't fit. I put that for the baby when they were newborn. It doesn't fit. So I was thinking she's going to have this really tight t-shirt, and some bloomer, what do you call those boomer things? Anyways, my baby was so cute. And it was scary because now that I think about it, the baby reminded me of the one on Leave Everything and Wonder. And I was like, oh, that baby's so cute. And social. This baby was very social, like, not able to talk, but very social with expressions, and how they visualize what you're doing. Like, ah! And they're just like, they're not just like, So I go into this place where there's just people eating at it. It's kind of a blur, and there's this guy. And it was a barbecue grill, but it didn't look like it. It almost looked like a chest, like a wooden grayish. What's that paint on that movie, Dennis the Menace movie, where he ends up getting it in his hamburger or something? It's like that color paint. That's weird. It's weird that memory is really specific about the paint in that movie. Watch that movie, Dennis the Menace, that old one I think it's from the 90s or the 2000s. So he opens his box and has some stuff on top, and it looked like, when I walked in, it looked like he had grabbed something on a plate, and he was in charge of the grill for the time, and he had sat down to get ready to eat something. And I walk in, and I wasn't going to bother the guy, but he's like, "Oh, what would you like? Would you like some food?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" to myself in my brain. And he opens up the thing, and there's like this chicken that looked like the carcass. I watched this movie video that said McDonald's factory, which I don't know. Anyways, it was on YouTube, and it was like, it wasn't like whole chicken breast. It was just like what's left over of it. It was so weird, meat separated and all that. Anyway, just different story. But it looked like that, probably because I had watched that in the middle of the morning. I couldn't sleep for a while, and there was something else. We were looking at pork roast, or what are the things where the bones are sticking up like that. So it's like the rib roast, or I don't know what they're called. It's similar to, oh my gosh, I can't think of these cuts of meat. Anyways, me and my partner were looking at these cuts of meat. The slow cook, I can't even think of the one, the roast, the steak, not the London broil, something in the categories. Anyways, and it was like, it didn't look done, or he's like, "Oh yeah, I got some right here, you want some?" I was like, "I'll take some chicken." They had chicken and pork in the top. I was like, "What am I talking about? I don't eat meat." And my mom comes in, and he's like, "Oh, what would you like?" "I'll take some chicken." Because I'm thinking that's the least of threatening for my diet versus pork versus, one of the pork almost looked like a pork loin, or the beef. I'm thinking, since I haven't eaten meat in 10 years, right? So it was so weird. I'm thinking, what are we doing? And we're bothering this guy who's about to sit down and eat and enjoy himself at this picnic, and he's sitting there. The meat's not done, so he keeps turning it over and checking it. And you can't see the bottom because it's like its own drawer or something. And it's like, I'm imagining in my mind during the dream that it's got beef patties in it. And it's just so strange that it's so vivid and realistic. I don't remember anything else. I think, we went over and there was like a bench. I do remember. There's like a bench. And none of the other people were talking to us. And that guy was super nice. And maybe that's why we gravitated toward him, because he greeted us upon entering. That's what I'm thinking now in real life. There was a bench who set the baby down and was cooing at the baby. I feel like the baby was wrapped up in a blanket, like old enough to not necessarily be swaddled, but kind of swaddled just for modesty. Almost like you put it on a toga. Put it on a toga. Because she somehow is happy, joyous, and free. I hear that in the meetings. Happy, joyous, and free, guys. And she's where everything is comfortable with a mom. You ever feel comfortable where you just go out for a walk, or you're in a beach condo, and you don't worry about your purse, you're not worried about, and I still worry about the stuff inside my hotel room. I'm scared that someone's going to steal it. Like, not necessarily, like, either someone breaks it and steals it, or the housekeeping. There's so many stories of people stealing their stuff. Anyway, it's a different story. Do you ever go out and say, "I'm not taking my purse, I'm not taking my..." I'll take one key and just my phone thrown in an actual pocket so I can have my hands free and walk and look at the sky and end up at the park. Like, you just feel like free. Or you could just have a small purse and just get in the car and go to your destination, right? Ever feel like that? I don't feel like that very often. I usually have my big purse that has the purse within the purse, and the EpiPen, and all the emergency tools to break out your window if you end up in the water. I guess you could end up, anyway, this is all different story. You could end up getting in an accident where the windows don't open and the door doesn't open because everything's all messed up, right? And, yeah, end up like, I hope you never need to use this tool. It has a light. Oh, my tool, I gotta tell you, my tool has a light, a window puncher out here. It charges, and they call it cigarette lighter, 12 volt, and it has a seatbelt cutter offer, like a slice. And it's on a magnet, and it has, I think it has the regular light, but I feel like sometimes it has blue light. I think the blue light comes on when the battery's dead. And it's got like I think you can make it flash, and you stick it on the car, and you pull off the magnet, I think, and you stick that in the cigarette lighter to charge it, and it's also an emergency charger. So you could, I guess, yeah, you have to have the cord. You have to charge your phone. Why do I feel like it's... I don't know what the cord looks like. There's not space for USB. I'm gonna have to tell you guys what emergency stuff I have in my thing is. My everyday carry isn't my everyday carry, because I don't carry that everywhere. I don't want to carry it on an airplane. I feel like it would get taken away. This is part 3. I want to shorten this or end this one and restart, because I just got really drifted away. That dream was so realistic. That mother and the comfort was so realistic. That baby was so real to me. In the dream where you feel like you're really there. And you wake up, and you're like a baby. You wake up and you just look at the wall and you're like, wow, what? Before I end this video, I kept hearing noises out there, and I'm getting paranoid about, is there some critter in here? Is there some kind of giant bug? And we had this dirt inside of this closet. We're growing the the tomatoes. We have at least 2 sprouts from the cucumber. We have something I planted, I don't know what. I think it's sage, maybe. I don't know. I kept trying to plant the cilantro. Hasn't grown once. And this, I don't know why we only have 4 tomato plants. I planted like 12 or 15 seeds, and I planted a whole bunch of, what do you say, echinacea. Oh, no, not echinacea. What's the antimicrobial herb? It's calendula. I planted this calendula from Mountain Rose. None of it has grown. I'm gonna email them and says I haven't been able to get any of this to grow. My partner didn't want to plant flowers in the house to waste time, but I was like, these are medicinal herbs. Like, they are beautiful flowers and medicinal herbs. I'm going to use them for tea. So I want to take the tea. Oh, you know what? At Big Lots in Kent Island, there is these buckets that have lemon bob inside this grow kit. So they have 5 left, but I was like, they don't have them here and they can't ship them. I just order this. One of my priority herbal plants. Anyways, this is going to be part 2.